everyone, and welcome to our next episode of Spotlight on Success. And today's topic is fabulous. I am so excited to have Michelle Salater here with us. And Michelle is the founder of Written by Sumer. And we will hear all about her expertise on the topic of how stories can really help you land more clients, which we all want to achieve. So Michelle, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. So let me give everyone a little bit of background on you. Michelle Salater is president of Sumer LLC, a company that specializes in writing website copy, SEO copywriting, and marketing and promotion of websites and blogs after they've launched. Michelle frequently speaks to entrepreneurs on how to maximize their online marketing efforts through brand messaging and blogging. And Michelle has recently appeared in Entrepreneur Magazine and My Business Magazine. So you've been a busy lady.
Yes, ma'am.
No grass is growing under your feet. So Michelle, let's jump into this. Your topic that you presented is basically the challenge of effectively communicating one's story through their marketing message. And you had said that too many entrepreneurs are not clear enough about their marketing message, and thus they confuse their prospects and really miss out on making those higher sales. And so
Sure.
what I'm excited about is really talking about how to get our viewers focused on using those stories to draw people in. We all want to be able to do that authentically.
Absolutely.
So let's start with what you believe is the number one mistake that you're seeing entrepreneurs make in their website content and their marketing content overall.
Sure. Okay. First of all, there's no judgment in what I say here. My job is to scour the internet daily looking for good content, bad content, that sort of stuff. So over the years, I've been cataloging like what works, what doesn't. And I would say, hands down, the number one mistake that entrepreneurs are making is they are talking way too much about what they do. And it's whether you have a few sentences or you have these really long paragraphs, it doesn't matter. If it looks something like we do this and we do that, we do this, we do that, we are this, we are that, we won this, we won that. It's prevalent, and when you come across a site that says, would you like this result? What if your cat could tap dance? And you're like, ooh, cats can do that? That's really what when you start using the I and that we and that I and the we, and it's sneaky how it comes in. You think you're doing people a favor by telling them what you do. They don't care what you do. They only care about the benefit and how you better their lives.
So it's really targeting those results.
Sure, absolutely. Absolutely.
What can you deliver? It's the what's in it for me proposition, correct?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So important. So then what's the starting point then for really crafting a marketing message that is going to work, that gets your focus in the right direction? And what do my audience members need to know before they even start writing?
Okay, well, you've heard this a million times, I'm sure your viewers have, your audience, but you have to know your target market. You have to know what he or she or they want. Like, what do they really want? And then what do they think they need? That's it. What they need and what they want are two separate things. You have to sell them what they want in order to give them what they need, and actually make their lives better. So that's a starting point. Once you know that, you're able to go back and you're able to, point one, don't just talk about yourself, but really the benefits that you provide, and how you are going to change their life, or how you're going to make their, dog's life better, or their kid's life better, or what have you. And really being able to tap into that emotional place. People buy for emotional reasons. So, if you think that someone wants your product because they're going to learn how to market, you're dead wrong. They're buying it for completely different reasons. And if you can really know who these people are that are purchasing, let's just say your marketing product, you're able to go in and, are you dying because you're up every night at 2 a.m. trying to market your company? I mean, it's a slow death and it's not fun. And, what's really the pain? Mm-hmm. And being able to tap into that. So that's the first part of that question. And so sort of, what do you need to know? you need this data. So I hear from a lot of entrepreneurs, well, I don't know. And I'm like, well, ask everybody, ask anybody. Well, ask your clients, but also poll your list, ask blog readers, tweet, ask a question. It's amazing what sort of feedback you'll get when you start just asking.
So true. And I think ultimately that's what we all want, is to have a very interactive, engaged audience who is willing to communicate with us, because if we don't ask and they don't tell, we really can't continue to focus our business efforts in the direction
Sure.
that they want.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I love the point that you made, Michelle, about giving them what they want, not what they need. And it's like putting that candy coating over the medicine, and slipping the medicine in somehow.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Excellent. So what tips do you have for our viewers then to weave their unique story into their marketing message as they go forward, and also incorporating that in their website?
Sure. Okay, so I want to make this very clear. My point one was, please don't talk about yourself. And now I'm going to tell you should talk about yourself. So let me just make this distinction. There's a big difference between, my company sells tomatoes. My company sells beans. My company, does X, Y, and Z. We're so great. We do this. We. And on the other hand, there's the story, which is, look, we were struggling to grow great tomatoes, and it was the summer of 2009, and we were starving to death because we had no tomatoes, and you tell the story. Like, you came to the place that you came to, however it is that you came to offer the product or the service that you offer now, there's a story behind it, and that's what people care about. I was watching MSNBC, I call it the Money Channel. And I was watching the Kudlow Report last night, my favorite show. Mm-hmm. And these guys were talking. One is from Gilt, which is an online site that you can purchase luxury goods off of. And the other one, and I cannot remember the name, they both, he owns a company that does clothing for men. And his unique story made me turn up the TV, which was this. Look, we decided that we were going to create an online site that would sell pants for men that fit better. But that's not the real story. The real story is every man remembers when he was a little boy going to that special boy store or that man store with their moms. Obviously, there's an age here, maybe 20 and under don't remember this, but when they had unique specialty men's stores that you've started to see just go away. And the story was, there's this nostalgia behind it. Well, it's no wonder they're freaking like banking, because these men are like, my mom, they've tapped into this. Like, you can't go with your mom to the store anymore. Well, guess what? This is the same experience. You don't need your mom anymore, because you have our support staff to help you find the right pants. And it's online.
Wow.
Yeah. And they're like billions of dollars pouring into this company that started from a guy who is in a business school in 2007.
But they managed, as you said, to make that connection. I mean, it's like, that invisible line between their heart and your message. And
exactly. So are you going to go, we're talking about men here and the audience is women, but, think about it this way. If you're selling something online, you're selling men's pants. These guys have got men just hook, line, and sinker showing up to this site because it reminds them of their mother. Shopping with mom. And it's brilliant. So if you can take this little story here, this lesson, and apply it to your own business, everybody has a story. Every product has a story. And that's what makes them memorable. And if you open up any entrepreneur magazine, you will read, why did that cupcake woman do what she did? Why did that widget maker do what they did? Why did that jar maker? Because she kept dropping jars on her toes and, breaking stuff all over. And so she decided to make a rubber bottomed jar. Someone needs to make that.
There you go. That's actually a good idea.
Right? Thank you. If someone makes it, please send it to me because I need one.
Yeah, I could use a couple.
But so that, and that's what really attracts us. Really attracts us. People never remember, rarely do they remember movies, the titles, book titles, song titles. What they remember is, what's that one story about that one guy that went fishing, you know,
Mm-hmm.
or the guy that shot his wife, or the woman who shot her husband on safari, that sort of stuff. Nobody remembers the title. So, same thing with your marketing copy. Same thing.
So
Apply.
important. And I think there's perhaps a hesitation. I know there was for me, and I actually need to update my website. Hopefully, it will be updated by the time this airs, but sharing my story. And I don't know if there's the thought process that somehow my story is not going to be interesting to somebody else. And yet,
Yeah.
it's putting yourself out there for people to get to know. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
what is
Well,
it?
and, you know, so I have that problem too. And one way that I've connected with so many people is that, you know, I don't necessarily share me. Instead of talking about myself, what I did was I decided to share the vision of my company and tell that story to more people. And so I don't want to put myself out there too much because I have a company. It's not just like the Michelle Show, which some people might argue it is. But but really, you know, for example, you know, this idea that my vision for my company is really to heal the globe. Conscious entrepreneurs, if they learn how to communicate with one another, can in fact heal the globe, and we don't have to rely on big governments. So my name of company, Sumer, it comes from the Sumerian civilization. And I always thought how brilliant it was that there was a civilization of people that had enough foresight to know that if they completely changed the way we communicated, they would alter history. And that's what we're doing in my company. We write marketing copy, and we're changing how companies are speaking to their prospects and how they're speaking to current clients and how they're speaking to business partners and how they fit in the bigger business community, whether it's global or local or what have you. So I've been able to share that story with people, and people really enjoy that. And if you are of like mind and you think, yay, I love what you're up to, you're going to call me, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Or they're call my company. So yeah.
Excellent example. And I did not
Thanks.
know that is where your name originated, the business name. So that's fascinating.
Yes.
Love that. Okay, Michelle. So tell us about how an entrepreneur then, you know, we're talking about being authentic, and how do you kind of step out of your shell and really engage your true self, maybe without sharing too much. I mean, you in your example, you talk about talking about your
Right.
company instead of yourself. So, any specific tips on what people should watch out for to maintain that professionalism?
Being authentic, there's a difference between being authentic and spilling the beans, right? And I think, you know, like we were just talking about, you know, Shannon, you said, I need to put myself out there more, but maybe you don't. You know, how do you, is that you? Is that who you really are? Is it too much of a push, or is it too inauthentic for you to be like, ta-da, I'm here? Right?
Right.
So a few tips: do what you would do, what feels right. Go with the gut. So if it really doesn't feel right sticking your neck out there, you have to look at it and say, is this fear, or is this, you know, what's right for the company? That's really, I mean, it's really what's the best for the company. If it's fear, you need to get your butt out there and you know, be seen.
That's
But
right.
if it's not, you know, you just have to choose. So in terms of writing, I think you find your voice. This goes back to the story. What can you get away with? You know, we're pretty fun, and we like, my company, we like bubbles and we like rubber duckies, and we're goofy, and clients will call and we get silly. And, you know, so what I decided to do was create a culture around this so that we could always be authentic and we could always be having fun. And I want my clients to have fun with it. I mean, they're coming to me because they're in pain and they don't want to do what they want to hire me to do, right? So they're just like miserable. So I show them how fun it can be when someone takes it off their plate and we still have a good time. You know, and that's being extremely authentic, but at the same time, we deliver, we do a great job, and we are professional in everything we do. So I've managed to find that fine line. You know, you do the work, and then you have your fun. Then you can race the go-karts out in the yard, whatever, whatever you want to do. You know, and there are some people in that are, you know, that I've seen in their marketing who are really crass, and some people who are very much, authoritative and very masculine, and others who are really happy and excited to talk about kids. And it's really, they don't have to try to do that. And I think in your writing, and it has to tap into the story. How fun is it that my company gets to change the globe? I mean, if you don't find that fun, you need to get off my ship.
There you go.
Right?
Yes.
So it all sorts of come together, and that question's a hard one to answer. But if you find yourself using words that you would never use in your marketing content, take them out.
Mm-hmm.
If you find yourself using this industry jargon because you think everybody's going to think you're cool and know what you're talking about, don't do it. They see right through it. They really do.
That's the thing, that you really have to perform within yourself, so to speak. Mm-hmm. I talk to my golf clients about that. Be happy with who you are and let your own light shine, and don't try to walk in somebody else's shoes, because sooner or later, as you said, Michelle, people are going to see right through it, and exactly. You can't maintain that facade. So why try? And you can't be everything to everyone. We talk about that a lot. And so be the best that you can be for a specific group of people you were put on this earth to help.
The reason that people make the mistake of talking about themselves on their web copy, let's bring it back to number one, is because they're trying to be like everybody else. Doesn't work that way. I mean, eventually you're going to, and you want to know why you're not attracting the clients. You want to know why you're not attracting, the partners or whatever else. You want to know why no one wants to read your blog. It's because you're dull and you're copying what everyone else is doing. So.
Right. Well, and people's BS meter goes, and
Well, absolutely it does. And I think more, there was a shift that happened in 2008, 2009, 2010, and it just continued to escalate, which is people are done with the facade. Mm-hmm. They're done, and they're not buying it. And you can stand up at the pulpit, you can say whatever you want, and everyone's looking at you going, liar, liar, pants on fire.
Which is not a good place to be.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No.
Not unless you're trying to go out of business or something. So.
Exactly.
Well, Michelle, this has been so valuable, and I thank you for walking us through the steps of really how to craft the story and the things to be aware of in preparation for building that great content, and why it is so vital. And so for people who want to get more information about you, where should they go?
They can go to our website, which is sumercopywriting.com. That's SUMER copywriting.com. And from there, you can check out our blog and connect with us on social media. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we've got YouTube, and so sumercopywriting.com.
Yeah, you guys are happening all over town, so.
We try.
Well, and your content is excellent, so I can highly recommend it to everyone who's watching. So thank you so much for sharing your expertise today, and just, really kind of getting us to step up our game when it comes to sharing our story and crafting those powerful marketing messages.
So thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Excellent. So everyone, thank you so much for watching. Again, I'm Dr. Shannon Rees, and until next time, I wish you great business success.